This is my presentation for Bio 120 Human Ecology on GMO.
GMOs are a genetically modified organism whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering techniques. Organisms that have been genetically modified include microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast, insects, plants, fish, and mammals. GMOs are the source of genetically modified foods and are also widely used in scientific research and to produce goods other than food. The term GMO is very close to the technical legal term living modified organism defined in the Cartagena Protocol by Biosafety, which regulates the international trade in living GMOs. The uses of GMOs are used in biological and medical research, production of the pharmaceutical drugs, experimental medicine, and agriculture. The term genetically modified organism does not always imply but can include targeted insertions of genes from one species to another. For example, a gene from a jellyfish, including fluorescent protein called GFP, can be physically linked and thus co-expressed with mammalian genes to identify the location of the protein encoded by the GFP tagged gene in mammalism. Such methods are useful tools for biologists in many areas of research, including those who study mechanisms of human and other diseases or fundamental biological process in the eukaryotic or prokaryotic cells.
GMO is a very debated topic in government. It's not something that a lot of people know about, that they should know about. There is a debate about labeling GMO in the United States and other countries. In most other countries, GMO food is banned. The chemicals that they use for it are banned. And in the United States, it's not yet. In most states, they've already voted no on the bill that says that they will label GMO food. Potatoes engineered with a lectin gene for resistance to pests were linked to stomach damage in rats that consumed the potatoes, according to a report from the University of California. And in 1989, 37 people died and about 1,500 were sickened after ingesting L-tryptophan, a nutritional supplement that was manufactured by a strain of GMO bacteria. In both of these cases, however, it could not be determined that the GMO food itself was the cause of the problems. For example, the L-tryptophan may have been contaminated with an impurity that arose from the manufacturing process, not from the L-tryptophan. The argument over the development and marketing of GMO foods has become a political hot potato in recent years. In 2012, voters in California were asked if food made from GMO should be labeled as such. The initiative was defeated, but only after GMO proponents like Monsanto, General Mills, PepsiCo, DuPont, Hershey, Cargill, Kellogg, Hormel, Kraft, Mars, Goya, Ocean Spray, Nestle, and other industrial food marketers spent millions on advertising to convince voters to vote against the measure. Opponents in several states and countries continue to push for GMO labels on foods, if not outright bans on GMO foods, but industry and science insist the foods are safe. Labels aren't needed, and they'll just confuse consumers. Only one thing is certain: the battle for and against GMO crops and the foods containing them isn't likely to end soon. There have been a lot of protests against Monsanto's and other companies who use GMO foods because people don't want them in their food. A lot of people don't even know what it is. They're not very informed on it because companies like Monsanto's keep people from knowing what it is. And that's how it's related to real life.